Hi everyone, this is Erin from Lizzie Knits. Today I'm going to show you how to do the provisional cast on, and this method is used with scrap yarn that will act as a placeholder for your working yarn. That way later on in your project you can remove your scrap yarn cast on, and then the stitches will be ready to be put back on a needle, and then you can work with them again. So for this method, you need the scrap yarn, a crochet hook, and your needle. So starting off with scrap yarn, we want to make a slip knot. Simple slip knot, and that will get placed on your crochet hook. You don't have to do it too tight either. Okay, then you pick up your needle. You can hold your needle in your left hand, hook in the right, and you are going to be crocheting the stitches onto the knitting needle. So to start stitch number 1, you are always going to want the yarn to be placed under the knitting needle. So here everything is in place. We are going to reach the hook over the needle, grab the yarn, and pull it back through the loop that is on the hook. All right, so now if you look, you have one stitch on the knitting needle. So let's do stitch number 2. You will need to return the yarn back behind the needle. Okay, reach over the hook, grab the yarn, pull it through. Okay, 2 stitches. Put the yarn back behind the needle. Reach over, grab the yarn, pull it through. Again, you don't need to do this very tightly. Back, pull it through. I have 4. You're gonna do this as many times as your pattern calls for it. I'm gonna go to 10. So here's 5, put the yarn back. And then I'm gonna show you a trick too in a minute with this cast on. If I can get this. 7, 8, okay, 2 more, 9, you're in the back, last one, 10, double check, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, okay. And actually, but what I'm going to do is with this cast on, you are going to end up losing one of your stitches when you add the working yarn. So I'm gonna cast on 1 extra. So even though my pattern, or I'm going for 10 stitches for a cast on, I'm going to put 11 on the needle. And then, like I said, the working yarn, when you add it, you will lose that first stitch. So we need to make it up somehow. So to finish this row though, let's chain a couple stitches off to the side. Okay, and you don't need to tie this off. You want to keep this nice and loose, so when you are ready to remove the scrap yarn, it's just gonna unravel on its own. So we don't need any knots. We can clip this though. I'll just cut this here. We can make this tight, but you don't want to knot. And that's how we're just gonna leave this for your whole project. So I have my 11 stitches and then a little tail off to the side, and we'll deal with that when you're ready to pull this whole thing out. Okay, so we're gonna start, let me knit my first row then. I'm gonna add my working yarn. So I now have 11 stitches. But like I said, you really only want 10 stitches. So we are going to have to decrease by 1. So my first row though, I'm gonna knit those 11. And I will do a decrease on the second row. Okay, 11. So now, if I'm knitting again, I'm going to knit the final 2 together. So that means I will be back to 10 of what I really want. 8, 9, and then I have 2 left. I'm repeating myself. If I knit those together, I am now at my original 10 that the pattern calls for. All right, let me put this aside. I swatched up what this will look like when you get some rows established. All right, I want to show you too. So this is where you added your yarn. And technically, when you joined your yarn, this would have been your first stitch. But since it's the tail, it never completed, it never got formed. That's why we lose one stitch. So that would have been 11, but now I do have 10. So grab that needle I was working on. When you are ready to put your stitches back on the needle, you can start unraveling this. And since we didn't tie anything, this is going to just pop open, start unraveling. That stitch was lost. And here's the first stitch that's going to come out. And you can put these on back on your needle one by one. You can go super slow. You can be really adventurous and just rip the whole thing out and pick up all the needles, whatever you're comfortable with. I think here I can do a couple here. Move my fingers. Okay, and we'll pick up that one. Bring this up and show you. Another one. And you just continue in this manner, and then all your stitches will be live again, and you can continue however your pattern is instructing you to. All right, that is the provisional cast on. Thanks for watching.